Good to be back in the building. I was out last week, right?
Yes.
How was last week? Good?
Last week was good. We had a good conversation. Good episode.
I have a lot to get into.
Dr. Bryant.
I've been on social media. I dread social media, but a lot of things have popped up that caught my attention. And I'm like, that might be a topic for next week. So we're going to jump around.
We got a lot to talk about.
But first and foremost, we got to start off with heavy heads. We have to just say that, we lost a good brother yesterday. We lost a really good dude yesterday. We want to wish his family, his friends, his fans, send our condolences to everybody.
Yeah.
Malcolm Jamal Warner was
everybody's brother. He
was one of them ones. I was blessed enough to do a sitcom with him. I did one season of a sitcom.
Oh, okay.
He was on a show with Tracy Ellis Ross called Read Between the Lines.
Yep.
Right.
And then after they did the initial season, she left to do Blackish. But Read Between the Lines had already got picked up for a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So the network is scrambling, like, what are we going to do? And they brought in me and Nicole White from BMF.
Okay.
They brought us in. They changed the dynamic of the show. It was Tracy was a doctor. I think they both played doctors on the show. And she had taken a job like in another country. Mm-hmm. And that was the spin. And then his best friends came to like be by his side while he raised his children. So it was me, him, Nicole. And great season. We shot in Atlanta. We had a great time. Yeah. Nicole Wright, myself, Malcolm, Najee Jeter. Had a really good time, man. It was dope. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I met him once. He would come to All Deaf. Yep. So yesterday I was scrambling, trying to find the one and only picture because everybody, because they had their memories and stuff. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't find it. But yeah, I was kind of in shock. I was like, what?
I literally spent half the day to say, like, I'm not ready to believe this yet. I'm waiting for the text, like, nah, he's fine.
Right.
I was like, I'm not ready to believe this. And it's crazy that, like, you're the guest today because this was already confirmed before that happened. But I'm like, this so goes in line because you were part of the family of the NBC, Cosby, Different World family. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure you are affected just maybe even stronger than everybody else.
Oh my God.
You were part of it all.
I'm just not ready to talk about it just yet.
Okay. I get it.
I will just say though that he just had this way about him that just the smile, he always just changed. He just shifted the atmosphere when he walked into the room. Like he and you probably know just by working with him, you know what I mean? He was just like a staunch professional, and just a really, really, really good dude.
Yeah.
He was just a good dude. And I was driving when I heard about it. And I was like, somebody had called me and I was like, I can't process this right now, you know.
I saw it, just kept scrolling. Nope.
It just can't. Nope. That I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
That's
an
unfortunate thing about death.
I mean,
never.
That really shook me to the core. Yeah, seriously, it did. So.
Yeah. It's certain celebrity deaths, and I'm just using the word celebrity for the audience because to us they're peers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. But there's certain celebrity deaths, man, that really kind of just hit you a different way.
This one hit different for sure.
Than others in a sense, man. And when you grow up in a household and watching the Cosby Show, like I said, if you never had a brother, that was your brother. If you had siblings, that was just an additional sibling. It was just like...
Or your childhood crush.
For the women, your childhood crush. Yeah, man.
My first one was Todd Bridges, and he was my second.
Todd.
Yeah. On different strokes, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to move on to Theo.
Willis. I got to think of TV brothers, huh?
Yeah.
You want a shot at AJ, you better get your resume up. Wait, we didn't introduce you properly. Ladies and gentlemen, first shout out to our sponsor, Captain Kirk's Jamaican Rum Punch. Kirk, I'm sorry I missed you in Brooklyn. My luggage didn't get there. I sat in the hotel for 2 days waiting for my luggage. That's neither here nor there. Our guest today in the green room, the lovely and talented Miss Ajai Sanders.
Thank you for having me, y'all. I appreciate it. I feel good.
Thank you so much for coming. Glad we could get you in here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for driving 2 hours.
Yes, it was worth it.
2 hours?
Yeah. I live in the OC.
OC, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, that's why we don't see you around here as much because you're out there.
Yeah. When I come out to LA, it's a sighting.
Right.
When we did the show on Wednesday night, people took a minute. They were looking at me like, hi, and we like, hey.
Yeah.
So what are you doing in Inglewood?
Right, they had the process. I'm like, yeah, I know, I don't get out much. But
Hey, I saw you recently. You came to a show. I did a show. You came with your mom. I forgot
when
what
we
that
were in
was.
San Diego at the Laugh Factory.
That was last year.
And
The year before last.
a year before last, and my mom is still doing your jokes.
Nice.
Every time somebody sneezes, she'd be like, "Show's over." Yeah.
Nice.
That's
nice.
yeah. You had a really great, you made a good impression on her. She loves
Oh,
you.
tell her I said hello, please.
Yeah, I will.
All right, so we were talking before we started recording, and you said you're on the cruise. You're doing dates on the cruise ship.
Yeah, I'm on the cruise circuit. Yeah.
So we're gonna go back. We'll rewind a little bit. So,
Okay.
like the beginnings, how'd you start? What was the inspiration? What was the what's the movie? When did you fall in love with hip hop?
Brown Sugar.
When did you fall in love with comedy?
Oh.
What's your beginning? What's your origin story? Since we are all superheroes.
So my love affair with comedy started when I used to stay up and watch The Honeymooners.
Oh, man.
When I was growing up,
Okay.
and then I used to watch the Jack Benny Show.
Oh, that's
And
old
he
school,
was
man.
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He just made me laugh until I cried for whatever
I didn't realize you
reason.
were that old.
I'm
Jack
old.
Benny,
I'm
goddamn.
old.
Honeymooners, I know. Jack Benny, I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
what?
Jack-
Or she didn't have
I know
cable.
of Jack Benny.
Yeah, you don't know who? You
I
ain't
know,
never
yeah,
seen
but
it?
I'd never seen an
Oh, you gotta-
episode.
oh. Yeah, he was. Anyway, so that was my first. And then I would stay up late at night and watch the Tonight Show, and I would only specifically want to watch who was going to be the comedian. And I didn't really put it together that was an actual career.
Yep.
I didn't know that
Same.
was what people actually did for a living. I
Same.
thought, oh, this person's just going to come on and be funny for a minute, you know, until I moved to California when I graduated high school. And it was around 1986.
Where did you graduate from?
I graduated
where you
I'm from Dallas. So I graduated
Okay.
from Hillcrest High School. Shout out to the Panther Pride.
Okay.
And my friend Corinne took me to the Comedy Act Theater for the first time.
Okay.
And that was the first time I'd ever seen stand-up comedy live.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, people like do this for real.
Yeah.
And the first celebrity comedian I'd ever seen live was Sinbad.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good one to start with. That's
Yeah.
a very good one to
And
start
then
with.
he appointed me out and he, you know, asked me a couple questions. You got a boyfriend, you know? And I was like, yes. And he was like, something. He said something. And I said, he said something to me. And I said, he's a Christian. And he said, well, so's Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. And so the whole audience like laughed. And so that's, oh, okay, the joke's on me. So anyway, I just got addicted to going down there. And then one night, Michael Williams asked me to open up for Robin Harris.
Wow.
He was like, we got to start this. Well, first of all, let me just go back. Me and Corinne used to sneak into the club.
Okay.
And we didn't have we were just two broke girls in college and we just went down there for entertainment. And so we would, you know, dress real cute. I'm 19 years old. We cute. We got our little, you know, short mini skirts on. We go down there and sweet talk the door guy, Miles, and he would let us in free. So we did that, you know, every single Thursday. And then one night Michael caught us in the lobby and he was like, what y'all doing? We was like, oh, we're about to come in. So he goes, well, we got to get the show started and Louis Dix is late. So we need somebody to introduce Robin. I was like, he goes, can you do it? And I was like, okay.
Wow.
And I thought, how hard can that be? I found out.
Yeah.
I found out it ain't no game. When you step behind the mic, it's a whole different situation. So months went by. I was not funny. I didn't know I had to be funny. He kept asking me to do it.
Wait. You jumping. So you did it that night and then you started doing
he said,
it routinely.
come back tomorrow.
Come back.
Okay, yeah.
Shout out to Michael Williams.
Shout out to Louis Dix.
And he said, just keep coming, keep doing it. And I was like, okay. So I didn't know that I was supposed to be funny. I just thought I was supposed to introduce Robin and just get the show going.
Mm-hmm.
And so Robin put me to the side. He was like, look, you got good stage presence. You just got to get you some material. And I was like, well, I didn't. He was like, no, you go on stage. You're going to have something to say. And I was like, well, how do I get material? I don't know. And so he was like, just look around. Look around the world.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And I was like, okay. And so he goes, look, I tell you what. I talk about everybody in the audience. You talk about me when you bring me up. So I just started talking about how black he was, you know, and how he got them big old eyes. And, you know, how, I just started talking shit about him and people were like, they kind of started to fall in love. And so then I wrote a rap. I was trying all my little talents, you know, and I wrote a rap, you know, and so then my 5 minutes turned into 15 and then my 15 turned into 20 and then he started complaining. He was like, taking too long to bring me up.
Damn, you got new and started burning the light that fast. That fast.
So then one night he said, I don't want you bringing me up no more. And I was like, oh no, for real? Why? What'd I do? He was like, no, I think you're ready.
No.
He goes, I think you're ready. And I was like, ready for what? He was like, you need to start going out and doing, clubs. And I was like, oh, no. I just want to do this club. That's all I had. That was home, right?
Yeah.
And so he was like, you know what? I don't want you bringing me up no more tonight. I'm going to bring you up. And so that's what happened. He brought me up last, but he brought me up, and I started doing that. Then after that, he took me to the Page 4 and he took me to the Total Experience and he took me around the corner to the other little dives around town. And so that's how I got my training.
Wow.
That was like 1987, 88.
Baptism by fire.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, it was, it was rough. I would be doing jokes at 2 a.m. in front of these like drug dealers in wheelchairs and shit. And they
got shot up
and
in the drive-by.
and then you gotta like tell your jokes while the blender is going on at the bar. And one night, I guess like he was like the kingpin or something. He was paralyzed, but he had a solid gold wheelchair. And they were just talking. They weren't paying attention to me, man. And I was just like, hey, everybody, how you doing? Scared to death. And so the guy was like, everybody shut the fuck up. The little bitch is trying to do her jokes. I was like, thank you.
Thank you, Kingpin, sir.
Exactly. But they all
like
shut
your
up.
wheelchair.
They were like, okay. They were attentive. So Robin was like, that's just how it go. This is your training ground. This is how it's supposed to be. So I was like, okay. So
shout out to Robin Harris, man, for just extending that.
Oh my God, yeah, he was like
did that for a lot of people.
Year.
He did that for a lot of people.
Yeah, he did, and he really taught me everything that I know at this point. And then, I just kept it going. I kept, when he died, I felt like I lost my dad, but I knew that he loved comedy more than everything else. So I knew that it was the right thing to do to keep doing stand up. So
he didn't make 40, did he?
Robin Harris?
He was 36.
Yeah.
Wow. He wasn't even 40.
No, he was 36.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow. So started out with stand up and then, you're doing dates, you're working, and then when did the acting come into play?
So I wasn't really doing dates yet. I was still, kind of getting my feet wet. But what happened was around that time was right at the beginning of the Black comedy explosion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So everybody was doing everything. Def Jam came in and auditioned us. And at the same time, Robin Harris had attracted Hollywood to come down to the hood. So that's where I got my first agent. So in between time, I got a commercial agent. So I started doing national commercials. And then Michael had opened the Atlanta Comedy Act Theater. So then I opened up that club. And then that was the same weekend that Robin had died. But then I'd already had my agent. So I just started auditioning. And so a lady named Shayna Landsberg came down to the Comedy Act Theater. She worked at NBC and she asked me for a meeting. And she told me that she gave me some advice about like how to get into the game. And I took it and she said, you need to take some acting classes. And I did. It was just maybe like a 6-week course or whatever. And after that, shortly I had auditioned for A Different World. And that was the first thing I had booked.
Wow.
First audition.
Wow.
Meant to be,
and,
man.
Then after that, it was just a whirlwind.
It was on and popping.
Yeah.
It was on and popping.
Yeah.
What year was the Different World?
91.
91.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Around the Christmas holidays. Shout out to Tisha Campbell because she's the one that ran my lines with me every day, every night, constantly, nonstop. And she's the one that took me to that audition because I didn't have a car.
Wow.
And on that rainy day in January, I'll never forget, she's the one that brought me to the audition. And so she was like, you got this, A. You got this. Just go in there and remember who you are. And I was like, okay. I got it. So yeah, I went in there with a plethora of other young girls. And I was just like, well, if I don't get this, I'm going to go back home. I'm going to go back home.
Really?
Yeah, because, the struggle was real and I was just out there and I couldn't really find my footing yet. You know how it is when you're struggling and you're kind of, you're striving, but nothing's really, tracking yet.
What's happening yet.
So.
But the struggle is the beauty.
Well, now we know. We know that
the struggle
now.
is the beauty.
You don't know that while you struggle.
Yeah, you don't know that while you
It's good to say that when you out of the struggle, but when you
no,
in
the
it,
struggle's the if you love it, then the struggle isn't a struggle.
Well, and that's the beauty of now because wiser, older, more mature, and experienced, you understand what that looks like, and you know how to get to the other side. Right. But when you're young and don't have anything to compare it to, you're just kind of like, everybody else is working. I don't know what I'm doing, so
Mhm.
you're kind of out of sorts. But, I was blessed to have people around me like Tisha and like other friends like that were in the game, that knew how the process worked, and I just kind of, followed in their footsteps in a sense. So
Who are some of your other contemporaries during that time, other than just Tisha, that you would hang with or work with?
We just gonna keep saying her name 10 times, huh? Tisha.
I didn't really I didn't have a whole lot of associates, because it was either, I was hanging out with a lot of comedians. So I was at the Comedy Act all the time, just kicking it with like Ricky Harris and
R.I.P.
and those cats, because those are the guys. Martin Lawrence would come through, and Tommy Davidson. So I was like everybody's little sister, you know what I mean? So I was just tagging along with whoever would allow me to come around. I was in the mix, I just wanted to learn. I was just soaking it all up. Those were my college years. So that was like my university. And I watched everybody and studied everybody. Myra J, Marsha Warfield, Sinbad, Martin. Martin would come in there and he would just shred the room into confetti. I mean, it was mind blowing.
Yeah.
And I just watched them all, and I watched their styles, and I took from a couple people when I was younger, like, oh, I'm gonna do that like that, But then I found my own voice over time. So how that goes.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because you said, to reference Tisha one last time, I worked with her several times on different projects, and the way she prepares is super professional. So I could see like her being an asset to helping you out, because if you ever see her on set, she rehearses like in the scene. She'll pick the cup up every time and put the cup here, and she's running her lines, but she's also running her mannerisms.
Right.
So when the camera's on, she does the same thing every time along with her lines. It's just flawless to see. And I'm like, even when the camera's like, if we see shooting on the other side of the stage and she's not in that scene, she's down here doing this.
Yeah.
Moving everything around. And I would just watch her on set. I said, yo, you ever thought about being an acting teacher? Like, you should really teach people how to do this. And T, I don't know if I could do it. I'm like, I'm telling you, man, because I'm working with you for this just this week, and I'm like picking stuff up.
Yeah.
I think she's like that.
I learned that from my theater days.
Oh, yeah?
To walk to get comfortable with your surroundings, you know what I mean? So you don't bump into a table during a scene while you know what I mean? So you know where your marks are and stuff. I learned that. And Billy D. Williams was like that too. He was a straight up method actor. Like it was almost kind of like strange to watch, because he was really very methodical when he picked up the toolbox and slammed it down and delivered. It's the same.
He would move the Colt 45 every
yeah,
time.
the Colt 45 would all, he'd be like,
it works every time.
It's supposed to be 6 inches to the right. He was great. He was really an interesting. I was starstruck all the time, man.
Theater was before stand-up? You said theater days.
I did theater.
Before stand-up? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you were comfortable on stage.
Yeah.
You left Dallas and came to LA to do theater.
No, I left Dallas to come. First of all, I left Dallas to come to LA to be a star.
Okay.
I didn't really know what capacity. I just knew that I wanted to blow up. But it started out, my plan was to go to college and then get into acting and then launch into my career. But that didn't happen because my dad had kicked me out the house when I was 18, and I had to be out. That's a long story for another time. But anyway, so, but yeah, I learned how to, I worked with Junie Smith and Reed McCants.
Why does Junie Smith sound familiar?
I don't know, but he was director. They had an acting course. They had acting classes, and they also launched us into doing like little small theatrical community theatrical productions. Okay. So that's kind of how I learned the basics of acting, and so that happened right around the time that I was kind of like sticking my toe into stand up too. But theater was the thing that like taught me how to like really find my space as an actress and find my voice, how to project, very technical acting 101. But it really helped, and it really helped me in TV too. Yeah. It's so that's the way A Different World was. I mean, all those guys came from a very prestigious background. So I was very intimidated, and I was green, but I just watched them.
Right.
I just watched what they did and copied them, get to your mark, do your line. And yeah. And so working with Tisha, like she taught me that stuff too. So it was all the same, just at a different level.
Yeah. You come to LA, you're kicked out of the house at 18. You come to LA at 18?
No, I came out straight out of high school to live with my dad. My dad and I had a fight.
Oh, your dad lives in LA.
He lives in LA,
Okay.
yep. And it's funny, I just, on the way here, I passed by our old neighborhood. Oh, wow. Yeah, we used to live up the street in Century City. So, yeah, but he kicked me out. I was 18, and that's when I had to get out into the big old world and figure it out.
Okay, so it's a great story you're telling so far. But now you're 18 years old, you're in the industry. You're a pretty girl walking around wolves every day with all these comedians. You know we wolves. Yeah. What's the negativity? Give me the negative side of it.
So to be honest, that's why I feel like I was always, when I look back and I see how blessed I was, like, and I always tell Michael Williams, I'm like, man, I could have gotten into porn. Like anything could have happened between then and getting to the comedy act. But back then, those old cats, they like took care of us. You know what I mean? Like Rodney Mason was this dude that used to come to the club all the time, and he was always looking out. And I got bullied by one comedian, and he kicked that brother's ass in the middle of the streets on my behalf. Wow. You know what I mean? So those guys they saw I was a young girl. They looked out for me I was blessed. I don't have any horror stories when it comes to that.
That's good.
I mean, later on, you know, I got some stories, but not in my beginning. I mean, I feel like everybody was just kind of like, really looking out for me and taking care of me. And I was in a good space.
Because it was the birth of the comedy boom, the black comedy boom. So everybody was kind of like trying to figure it out together.
And right. And the community was different back then. I mean, we were very much more connected and very cohesive. And like everybody supported all the black businesses back in the day. And so like it was, on Kizzy's back porch for dinner, and then they go to the comedy act at night, and then they go to the Paradise after that, or they go to Carolina. Like everybody just kind of went everywhere, and everybody just knew everybody. So they just kind of looked out for me. I don't have no horror stories, unfortunately.
Not until later, you said.
Well, not till later. But the horror stories are, when I get older and I made decisions on my own,
Gotcha.
That just led me down a road. I'm like,
that lady's accountability.
Accountability. I made some decisions that, that I look back and go, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh yeah. Probably shouldn't have slept with him. Oh yeah. Yeah. I should have just had the chicken. I shouldn't have fucked him. I should have just, so, I mean, those are the stories that, that I have, but nothing in terms of like, anybody else. Everybody else is pretty cool, especially in the beginning.
Nice. Shout out to Michael Williams again, man. That's a cool cat. Unfortunately, I was not out here during that time.
Where were you?
I came years later. I didn't come out till 2000.
You was in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I heard the stories about the was it the Birdland and I heard about the Comedy Act Theater. It wasn't here when I got it here. Right. But I did have the pleasure of meeting Michael Williams. He was super cool. I met him at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And he was super duper cool. And I was like, I can see why everybody like speaks so highly of this guy. Like,
I met him at Laugh-A-Palooza.
I think I might have met him there.
Yeah. Was that in Atlanta?
Well, yeah. He was there. I guess that was like 2002, 2003.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, he did open the Atlanta club out there. That's probably why he was out there.
Yeah, I remember. It might have been Laugh-A-Palooza. We were there the same year when the show ran crazy late.
Yeah.
Show was.
What was the show that you and I did in like 2007 at the club on Pico?
Comedy Union?
Yeah, at the Comedy Union, we filmed a show there, like a TV.
Oh, we filmed the Funny Spot.
The funny spot. I was trying to remember. Okay.
Let me tell you about the Funny Spot. The Funny Spot is such a dope story because Enz and I had a pitch meeting with TV One.
Oh, okay.
Pitching an entirely different idea.
Okay.
And they were kind of warm to it. Everybody's sitting in the room like, oh yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know. It was like a reality show for comics, like follow 3 comics around and they go from city to city to city. And sometimes they stop in their hometown and take you to where they grew up and all. Yeah, well, and I'm like, why are they not jumping out the window decided this is such a good idea?
Right.
And they were like, yeah, well, okay, we'll talk about it. And what else you got? And I was like, you want to tell them about me and Enz like, you want to tell them about the show? Well, Enz owns a comedy club on Pico, so everybody knows the comic. Everybody knows the comics they like, but you don't know anything about that comic. So what about a comedy show where at the end of the show, the comics that perform come back on stage and the audience gets to ask them questions about their lives, like personal questions. But of course, they're going to be funny because they're comics. They make everything funny. But at least they get a little insight into who that comic is. We love it. Oh my God. We leaving the meeting. They called us when we got to the car.
Wow.
And was like, we want to do the show. We want to buy it. Let's do it.
Oh.
We were at the car. Didn't even pull out. Didn't even get validation yet. And they were like, let's do the show.
Wow.
Yeah. They picked it up in that day. And we shot, I
Okay.
think we shot 8, 10 maybe episodes of that.
That was
And
fun.
it was a lot of fun.
That was actually my doing that. Shout out to Enz Mitchell.
Shout out to Enz Mitchell. Call me, man.
Because he called me up and he's like, yeah, you know, I'm doing this thing and you know, are you still doing stand up? And I was like, yeah. Because I wasn't. I had already moved to OC and I kind of just walked away from it all. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this no more. And so he called me, and then right after that was I flirted with the idea of doing Def Comedy Jam again when I think that was like in 07.
Yeah.
06,
Yeah,
07.
yeah.
And but I hadn't been doing stand up for a while.
Really?
Like for at least like 6 or 7 years at that point.
Oh wow.
Well, thank you for coming out of retirement to do my little show.
I was honored. I was like, what? Tony Rock, of course. So, you know, I dusted off my old material. I'm like, okay, let's see what I got, you know? Yeah. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
How did it feel? Was it like riding a bike for you, or
it was like it was like falling in love again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Comedy and I have a really interesting relationship. Like I love it. And when I'm in love with it, like it's passionate, it's great, and the creative juices are flowing. And then there are times where I've had times where I just hate it so much. It's like somebody that you're in love with, but you know they're not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like that.
So in what terms? Where what drove the hate?
I don't think I was equipped to handle the pressure of what stand-up really was. And I think that I landed very softly in the game because of the television aspect of my career. So I was able to get away with doing a little bit because I had the TV creds under me, you know what I mean? It kind of floated me through. But the grind of it and the pressure that I applied on myself, I couldn't do it. Yeah. It was just too much for me. But I didn't have a real why then either. Okay. I didn't have a real why. Like I didn't know, because I felt like it was thrust upon me, and it wasn't like I chose to start doing stand-up. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't know if I really want to, is this really for me? Is it? And so when I did your show, and then I went back to watch Def Comedy Jam, the second install, I was like, yeah. And it felt good, you know, it felt like home. And, but I hadn't, and then DL had asked me to open up for him in Arizona, like I think a couple days after that. And then that felt really good. And then I was kind of like, yeah, but I don't really like the industry like that, you know? So it was more of the business aspect that I just didn't like about it. You know, I'd been rejected so many times, and, you know, and just so many disappointing events had happened over time. I was just like, I just want to go live my life. But it just kept calling me, man. I mean, like when you love someone, something is in you like that. You know, I was like fucking dreaming about it, and, you know, and I wake up writing, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna do anything. So what I ended up doing was creating my own venue out in OC. Okay. So I started just kind of producing shows, live comedy variety shows out in Orange County, just to get the shingles off, just to get, get the dust off, you know, because I didn't want to go back to LA and get into that rat race again, because I felt like I was tired. Yeah. But so that was enough for me, you know, to do it. And
that was that restaurant joint that you had.
That one. And then I also had another theater called the Encore Theater over in Tustin. And that was it was like an old school, it looked like something back in the 40s. It was beautiful. But anyway, I was doing that. And then I did that at the restaurant too. So that was enough for me to just kind of, you know, keep it at bay. And I'd say I did it, and, you know, I'm owning my craft, you know what I mean? But I didn't really want to get back in the game at all. Like I was like, I got video, I got proof that I was there. I don't really, you know, I just didn't want, I had no desire to get back in the business at all. I just hated it so much.
All right, you said so many points on it. You said so much. I was like, I gotta address that.
Okay.
You said I kind of glided softly into the, what did you say? I landed softly in the game, and I had the TV, so I kind of got like, they kind of gave you the pass. Is it like, you know how if somebody's famous and they do stand up, they kind of get the 5 minutes of
the courtesy laughter.
You don't have to be.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I had an act,
right?
You know, because I was on the road a lot. I was on the road with your brother a couple times, a couple tours, and so I had the goods.
Right.
I just didn't want to. I think it was because here's the real truth. I think I was obsessed so much with working when I was younger that I didn't want to have that feeling anymore. I didn't want my life to be defined by that, and I always felt useless when I was unemployed. But I felt like I was worth something when I worked. So I wanted to find a way to live my life productively and effectively without having that be my definition, without having that be my yardstick. You know, if I'm not working, then I'm that I don't matter. But if I am working, then I must be okay. And I didn't want to feel like that anymore. I wanted to be able to just live my life and be happy no matter what. And so that's what I had decided to do, was just go find a way to be happy. And remember, I was 18 when I started. So I didn't really know who I was. I didn't really have no identity. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just needed to go find that. And once I found that, then the love for comedy came back.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. I don't think it defines me, but I just love, like, the industry stuff, all that shit. It could come, it could go. If I could touch a microphone, I'm good. I've always been like, if I could get on stage and tell some jokes, I'm fine. The TV shit I can't control. The movie stuff I can't control.
Right.
I can't even control going on the road.
Right.
But if I could pull up at the Comedy Store or the Improv or the Factory and get on stage,
so
I can control that, I'm good.
Because I was on the road so much, when I did come back to go to the Comedy Store and go up, they didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
They didn't know I did comedy.
Wow.
So I was away for so long, they were kind of like, what? And so my manager at the time was like, okay, so we're going to have to just start back at ground zero. All right. So then you got to you got to showcase for Mitzi. Okay, I did that. And then I would take these really, really horrible spots, like 6:30 and 6:30 spots. You know what I mean? Or I'd get the 11:30 spots when everybody's, drunk and, not listening. So he was like, you just got to pay your dues a little bit. And so Scott Day, remember Scott Day? Who used to manage it? Anyway,
the Comedy Store?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's probably before me.
So he finally just kind of worked me in, where I was getting better and better spots, and I was like, okay, my biggest goal is to get my name on the wall. I know that sounds superficial, but I just wanted my name up on the wall. So I was like, I'm gonna do this until they put my name up, and they did. And so I was like, all right, good, But I ended up just kind of figuring, it out, but they didn't really know who I was. I mean, no one would let me go up. And one night Eddie Murphy was in the house, and one of his assistants came over and was like, Eddie would like for you to come see him. And I thought he meant Eddie Griffith. And I was like,
tell that nigga I'll be over there when I be over there.
That's what I said. I was like, you tell that
nigga I'll see that nigga when I'm leaving.
I was like, what?
Eddie, if he's standing near my car when I leave, I'll see him.
I was like, tell Eddie. I said he come to me. And so he was like, actually, it's Murphy. And I was like, you tell the king I will be there in just a second. So I came over and he said hello, and he invited me to sit in the booth. It was right after I'd done a spot in the original room. And so he looked at me, he was like, we ain't never had nobody funny and fine. How's that feel? Right? And I was like, well, okay. Like, we're gonna go have some tea at the house. So I'm inviting a few friends over. Why don't you come? I was like, okay. So now mind you, I'm driving a Jetta, and this Jetta has all kind of mechanical problems. So y'all remember he used to live up in Benedict Canyon?
No, I don't.
Well, he used to live in this, you had to go up this winding hill to get to the house. And so my car could barely make it up.
Oh, wow.
And I'm shifting gears and it's like, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm hoping nobody's hearing me. So anyway, I did make it up the hill, and and so he taught. And so that's the second guy besides Robin Harris that taught me how to really appreciate stand-up. He loved, stand-up. And I don't think he gets enough recognition for the fact that he's probably one of the most brilliant minds.
I think
You don't think Eddie gets enough respect?
I don't think he gets enough respect in terms of like his brilliance, like his comedic brilliance, you know. I don't,
because he does it so flawlessly,
and it makes it look so easy.
Like, yeah,
and he's the one. And to be honest, we're all still kind of riding his wave because he's the one that opened up the floodgates for all of us, because Black comedians weren't getting the recognition before him. I mean, we knew about Bill Cosby and Richard Pryor, and you know, but not on a mainstream level. Like, he took it to the rock star level.
Absolutely.
So he's responsible. I always think that he's like responsible for all of us, you know, doing what we do.
He definitely opened the door up a lot wider for people to see Black comedy. I would agree with that.
This is how much we all love Eddie Murphy. This is how much we all love Eddie Murphy. She told that story and we all smiled and were like, wow, that's such a cool story. When we thought it was Eddie Griffin, we was all like this. What the going to get tea with Eddie Griffin. I was like, I ain't going there. But when she said it was Eddie, we was all like, oh, Eddie Murphy sounds delightful. Sounds delightful.
He would play like, he had all old archive video footage of Amos and Andy, and he would like, you know, sort of recite the scenes, and he would be like, you remind me of Sapphire, you know? And I was like, and I had never seen Amos and Andy before. So he showed those clips, and he just loves stand-up. He just loves comedy so much that it made me kind of really appreciate the art more so.
I'm sure there are other comedians that I don't know of, but the three that I know that are historians of this shit, Eddie, my brother, and Tracy Morgan.
Okay, that makes sense.
They will tell you episode 1 of the Flip Wilson show.
Yeah.
They will tell you the pilot of The Jeffersons. They will tell you Moms Mabley's first comedic appearance on television. They will tell you, they run that shit down.
Yeah.
They have footage, they have stock stuff. They historians of this shit.
Yeah. It made me really, really have a lot more respect. And I remember he used to always say, comedy is the purest form of entertainment. And he was like, we ain't got no band to back us up. Right. You know, we ain't got no backup singers, no background dancers, you know. He was like, it's just us. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. Okay.
And
I hadn't thought of it.
If you're a rock star or you're in a rock band, you can play the same hit for 30 years.
Over and over.
People come to see you at 40, they come to see you at 60. They want to hear the same songs they heard when they was 40.
Yeah.
Every time they see a comic, new shit.
Please. Right. Absolutely.
You know why? Because we're news reporters. They want us to report. The world is changing every day. Everything's stuff happening every day around the clock. They want us to report it. They want our perspective on what they're living.
We are the original news
So old
bearers.
stuff is like, yo, I lived that already. I'm living new shit now. I want you to talk about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
never
true.
thought about
That is very true.
journalists.
Yeah, we news reporters. We present the same news that they present at 11 o'clock. We just do it with comedic slant.
Yep.
They give you the seriousness of it. Employment is low. Employment is a record high. Next story. We go, man, niggas out here broke. Everybody broke. Niggas so broke, tried to borrow me. It's the same thing as saying unemployment is at an all-time high.
Right.
True.
We just report it differently.
Right.
And
true.
It makes the medicine easier to swallow.
Yep.
Definitely.
We are the original news bearers.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, and different. We got to report it.
Yep.
Now, did you ever get to see Eddie live? I know he would always be at the Comedy Store, but I have no perspective when he actually, I'm not going to be doing stand-up as
This
much.
was like early 90s.
Okay.
So
he wasn't doing it then.
This was when Paul was really hot. You know, you see Mooney at midnight. We'd all to go see him. And I think Eddie did a few spots in the main room around that time, a little bit, but I don't think he did any much more after that. Because I think he started doing, he was writing Vampire in Brooklyn. He was working on his movies, and I think he was working on the Professor Clump thing. Nutty Professor. Excuse me, not the
Clump thing.
That was the working title, the Professor Clump thing.
The Clump Project. But yeah, I think that's when I think he did I remember when he did one, I forget what year it was, but I remember he went on stage one night and he talked about the birth of his daughter, and he talked about how he was in the room when she was born, and he was like, "You ever seen a pussy right when it gives birth or something like that?" And he was like, "That shit looked like an old hat." And he talked about how ugly it looked or whatever. I remember that I don't know what year that was though. I want to say it was early 90s, but that's the last time I had seen him do stand up.
Okay, because that's probably around the time we really got busy.
Yeah,
like this, like Eddie Murphy was on everything.
That nigga been busy since
Well, I'm just saying his
We're
movies.
still waiting for the return. We're still waiting.
I believe. Do you believe? I believe he just like one last time.
I wish he would just do it. I wish he would just get some writers, help it, just do it. Because come on, Tony, you got some friends.
I know Arsenio Hall.
Yeah.
I spoke to Arsenio Hall one night at the Laugh Factory. I said, listen, man, I got a whole hour at home written for Eddie. Whenever I have writer's block, backstory. So whenever I have writer's block, I write material as if I was someone else.
Really?
To get the pen moving. It's material I can never use because it doesn't pertain to me. But it's just to get the pen moving. I wrote Eddie's whole hour. Come out. I'm Eddie Murphy. I'm Eddie Murphy. I used to be the biggest star in the world. I don't know if you kids know me. I used to be the biggest star in the world. I was on this. I was on that. I was on this. My kids know me as a goddamn donkey.
Yeah.
But then just tell all the stories. I'm so glad. The beauty of me not being destroyed and still being able to work today is because there was no social media when I was at my height. Because if there was Instagram and TikTok, I would have never made it. My best friend was Rick James. Could you imagine the shit we would have had on TikTok?
Woo.
That would have been. They tried to get Puffy. They would have got me.
We used to party all the time.
Yes, like all of that about who he used to be, who he is now. And then I told Arsenio, and he ends it with, I was so big, I could have any girl I wanted, and that shit got to my head. And one night I got in my Rolls Royce, and I'm driving around Hollywood, and I drive down Santa Monica Boulevard, and I see this girl at the corner, and I'm like, I'm Eddie Murphy. Get in the car. And she gets in the car. And we drive a block, and the cops pull up behind me, like, what's going on? Oh, what the fuck? And she turns to me and says, I think you're in trouble. And he ends with that shit. Good night. I'm back. Boom.
That's it.
I told Arsenio. Arsenio said, listen, I will put you in a room with him. You tell him that.
Okay.
I'm not telling him that.
Okay.
And I said, my only ask is if he decides to use any of this material, I'm the opening act.
Okay.
And Arsenio's like, I'll let him know.
You'd rather be the opening act, but not get paid for the writing, no writing credit?
Yo, if they let me open the show.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
That's
it.
all I need.
I hear you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before Eddie comes out, Tony, that's all.
Man,
they don't have to pay me for that. I will pay for my own travel, hotel, room and boards. I'll pay my own rider. Just let me be opening act.
I think anybody would take that.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting? I said the same thing about Sinbad. I was like, I feel like his spirit is so strong and he has such a fighting spirit. He's going to find his way back on stage. And I would like to be the opening act for that. I would love to be in the room for that because I know he's going to figure out a way to come back.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
Because he loves the game. He loves comedy just like as much. But yeah, oh man, Tony, that would be great, man. Look, So okay,
we gonna make it happen. We're gonna send it up into the,
Oh my God, that was.
It's already out there.
Do you know how? Oh man, the return of Eddie Murphy, because he did so much for us, man. I mean, we need one more time, at least one more.
Gotta get one more before everybody gets old, and then these new kids don't know him at all.
Yeah,
right.
When they like, who's this guy y'all keep talking about? Like. They don't know Richard like they should.
Well, do we really care about the kids really knowing, or do we care about?
Yeah, because
I think they're detached now.
His fan,
they're pushing it forward now. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately,
that's why old people have issues with young people because they're like, you don't respect the things that we hold so near and dear to our heart.
Yeah,
right.
That's why old people are like these fucking kids.
I want him to get back on stage before I get too fucking old to go see him. You know what I'm saying? I want to just bask in the glory of his greatness one more time.
You know, he just got to be. It's hard though when you at that altitude, you know, and he understands he will have to get back in them clubs every night.
That's the thing. Where do you work it when you're Eddie Murphy? Where do you go work out material? Because everything is an event.
Yeah, so
the same place though. But
if Eddie goes to the store tomorrow to work material,
he can come work it out
it's an
here.
event. It's phones out. It's people going crazy. It's news cameras pulling up.
True.
I just wanted to work this 5 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. He can come to some private spots.
But he's not going to do that. What did Arsenio say? He was like, Yeah, man, during COVID. They got this comedy night, people in, but you in your car. And you could perform and the people are in their cars because of COVID, but you outside, and it's like, man, I ain't doing that shit. Like, I'm not about to, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
well, that would be weird for any comic, I think. That's just
but
like
that was
doing
just
comedy.
during COVID.
Yeah.
But
That's just like doing comedy on Zoom. It's like,
but you saw
Yeah, that was
comedians
hard.
was trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So but just going to the square root in the grounds, man. Sometimes people they don't want to do it. They don't want to put that work in. They don't. Man, I'm not about to go here. I'm not about to do. He
acknowledged that. He said, "Man, I had to work just to get
and he understands that.
Hour, yeah,
he understands it.
And I think what made me realize have a front row seat to what that pressure must be like was when I saw the movie Comedian with Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, such a great movie.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Great movie.
I mean, I think I watch it at least once a year. And
that shit is comedy's Rocky.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just watching him just like, trying to do his whole new hello. Okay.
Man.
Well, and just watching him just trying to like, but being famous and then going back down the square. And that's the thing about comedy. It's like a neutralizer. Like it doesn't really matter how famous you are.
Comedy
You
don't care if
still
you're famous.
got to go
Yeah.
do it's a tricky mistress, man. I mean, that's why I was like, man, I don't know.
There's one scene in Comedian, I've seen it a million times, but it's just one scene that always sticks out with me. He's writing, and I think he did a show, and he's backstage looking at the material after the show, and he just stops and says, why is this so fucking hard?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, I want everybody that loves comedy, fan or a comic, to just really appreciate the difficulty it is to just say something that you guys just go, oh, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
You don't know what went into making that,
Trying to get that right.
to saying that sentence,
Absolutely.
to get you to respond.
Absolutely.
He's like, why is this so fucking hard?
And remember when
this
he
is
went blank on
famous-
stage?
Jerry.
This is world famous Jerry Seinfeld. Like,
Yeah.
why is this so fucking hard?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Remember when he went back on stage? You said,
no, when he went blank on stage.
yeah.
And,
like,
he just grabbed his
lost it.
head like, and I was like, bruh, I feel, and
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times. And when he gets to that point, I'm like, I know, I've been there.
Eddie could have people come to his crib. He could really just start easing
Private
in,
work,
just
like-
having little private situations.
Have who come to the script?
Just people. Just
Like a little backyard boogie. He
little
can do something
backyard boogie
Yeah.
type situation, and have
Just to
20,
start
30
back.
people just to
Yeah.
start, jabbing and getting things. 'Cause that's how Jamie prepared.
But it's still, it's an event.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
he would have to
I mean,
invite-
like Jamie
yeah,
was preparing
I
at
wouldn't-
his house when his last special. He didn't go to no clubs. He
And it
didn't work
showed.
anything. He, he got it. He just did it at his crib and was just like, yo, and it was writing it that way just to get him going. He's going back on the road again.
Do you think that puts you in a bubble? Does it isolate you from the actual authenticity of
Well,
real
yes.
crowd? Like
can't
I would
stay there.
imagine.
Normally,
Huh?
I said he can't stay there. It's like, all right, you
Yeah,
start out, you do
it's
those
just to get
private
you warmed
events.
up.
Jamie did his at his house around his friends, and the shit showed. Eddie can't deliver. If Eddie Murphy delivered that special that Jamie has,
That's crazy.
what is wrong with the world?
Right.
That was a TED talk. I was sick. I was sick. Lord took me through.
Right.
Bro, where's the
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy can't deliver that.
Right.
No,
Right.
but
Eddie
right.
Murphy can't have yes men at the house saying, yo, that's mad funny. No,
Right.
no,
but to
no.
get the what I'm saying is just to get the wheels turning.
And then after he does that event, then what does he do? He goes,
and then say, okay, I'm getting comfortable now. I'm just getting comfortable with some material, trying to play it, and now let me go to the
I bet you
the
he's
comedy
dreaming
store.
about.
I think it's Eddie Murphy. I think he has material.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Eddie Murphy. I think he could talk a fire 10 right now. He could conversate 10 fire right
I
now.
heard he's always the funniest person in the room. But I think because he acknowledges that I got to do the work, I don't think he would invite people to his house. He would have been done that because that's easy. That's easy for him to do.
I would imagine he does that. I would imagine he has people at the house and he's super funny while he's there. He
yeah.
knows this isn't how you get back to that
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
That's like, yo, come to the crib and play basketball. We just fucking around in the backyard.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go, yo, it's in the Michael Jordan thing. I'm back.
Nah.
Mike had to play with professionals to get back to.
Yeah.
You just
you gotta get.
the only thing is once you behind them gates for so long and you step away from for so long, it's hard to relate because people like Chappelle never did that. He always, I mean, when he went to Africa, he came back, but he never was stuck behind the gates. He was always in the club. He was always a club comic. You will see him at a regular comedy club doing this thing. Chris, you will always see Chris. He wasn't stuck, but never was stuck.
He never stopped doing stand-up.
Never was stuck behind gates. He was always like comedy. But once you become that next level, Kevin never stayed behind the gates. But you don't know how people feel when they like, yo, I've been behind these gates. I mean, as far as with this comedy for so long, I kind of like out of touch a little bit. I don't think he was so detached. He's so detached from it that he wouldn't know how to approach it. Because he's still aware of what everybody's doing. Yeah, you know? He's still sharp on interviews.
Yeah. Sharp in interviews.
If he has to make a presentation,
super funny at the house, super funny in movies. I'm sure he ad-libs in movies. And just throw something in and it works. You don't lose it.
Yeah, you don't lose
it.
Yeah, it lives in you. That's my experience. I mean, as many times if I tried to just like be like, yeah, I'm good. It's something that lives inside that's like keeps gnawing at me.
You could tell the people who pursue it and do it constantly, like these A-listers and things like that, versus the people who did it great at one point and then kind of backed out of it and then come back in it again. It's just like, you're not as sharp because you might just be working out at one club. You're not moving around. You're not hitting all of the spots that you can possibly hit. Yeah. You know what I mean? You might just be comfortable working at the Comedy Store for 5-6 weeks straight. Then you're going on tour. You can see the difference as opposed to somebody that's like, yo, I'm doing a factory, the store.
Because the only real test is to get in front of a real audience. You know, I mean, I get to do that when I go on cruise. I mean, when I do cruises all the time, you know, and you know, we have to do 5 shows per cruise, 5 to 10. So constantly cranking out new stuff.
Different material.
What do you do? What's 7 days on the boat?
It depends. It's
how 3,
many
5,
days.
and 7.
So
right?
if I do a 5-day, then I'll probably do about 5 to 7 shows, and then on the larger ships, on the they do like 10 shows.
2 a day.
Sometimes 4 a day, sometimes 5 a day.
Midday, you doing some of those afternoon shows?
I have done some matinees, which I thought were weird in the beginning, but they show up for the matinees. Those are actually some of the fun. Most
for
fun.
that
Is it a group of comics? Like you're traveling with a group? Is it the same?
No.
People?
So it's a circuit, and so 2 comics get booked for 1 cruise. Okay. So we just alternate nights.
Okay. I know my man Billy D. Washington. He's doing cruises now.
Yep.
You know Ken Boyd? Ken Boyd is doing cruise ships now, heavy.
Billy D is like what would I say? He's like the Don. He's like the Don of the sea. You know what I mean? Like he it's amazing. He's just so he's just amazing to watch.
He's always been super funny.
Man,
shout out to Billy D. Always been super funny.
He's out of Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I know Billy, Ken Boyd. I know Dugar's doing a lot of them now.
Arvin,
Vince Morris.
Vince Morris, Vince Morris.
Yeah. Shout out to Vince
Watching
Morris.
Vince Morris is like it's a comedy clinic. It's just amazing. So I'm learning a lot from those guys, man. I'm watching again. I'm still studying and watching, but the difference is now I have my own identity, and I know who I am, and I know I'm good at what I do.
Yeah,
that's different than when it was when I was starting. Right. I just watch. I'm still a student of the game, but I go, okay, all right, good, you know. But then it inspires me to go and kill it too.
Right.
And it's a challenge though, because you know you do see the same people over and over, but you can't assume that the same people are showing up because a lot of times there's so many other activities going on. They don't get around until they see you. It may not get around to seeing you until the last night. So that's a whole fresh new set.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna backtrack a little bit because you were right there when Def Jam started.
Oh yeah.
Like heard about this show that they were talking about doing on HBO.
Yes.
Please tell me about that excitement for just like auditioning, getting it, shooting it, watching it.
Oh man. Okay, so Bob Sumner comes to town. Him and Russell, they come to the Comedy Act Theater, and you know they Michael Williams tells us that we're all going to be showcasing for this new TV show on HBO, and and they saw a few of us and then chose who they wanted to showcase. And I did my little 10 minutes or whatever I had at the time, and they chose me to do it and flew me out. And it was the scariest but the best experience I've ever had. And I think I felt safe because Martin was going to be the host.
Right.
So, you know, I was already familiar with him. And so I knew that if he was hosting, I'd be good. You know, I was going to be in a good spot. And yeah, I mean, but Bob Sumner kept saying, you know, you gotta come back. You know, New York crowd is hard. You know, you gotta make, because he was like, don't be giving that cute little girly shit. And I was like, okay, Bob, I mean, I'm gonna do my best, you know. And so he was like, you gotta come hard, man. This gonna be and I was like, fuck. So I was really afraid of that audience,
pressure,
you know, pressure, oh man, it was like the Apollo. And I was like, okay, so, you know, I go out and I do the best I can. And I messed up the first, I remember I flubbed the first joke because I was so nervous. And then what caught my attention was the red light on the camera. And I
thought it was the wrap up light.
No, I just saw the red light. I knew that I was on. And I was like, bitch, you better get your shit together right here and right now.
Wow.
Because this is it.
Attitude
it's do or die. And so that's when it clicked in for me, like, okay, just do it. And fuck your nerves. Let's go. And so it ended up being a good set. I think I was on the same night as Bernie Mac. And
oh wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. So it was brand new and it was exciting. And we didn't know how it was going to become like an institution. Right. You know, we were just happy to be making some money professionally because up to that point, we was all just, you know, hitting the streets, doing spots, hoping to get on somewhere. And so so I had just finished taping my first episode of A Different World, but it hadn't aired yet. Right. So Martin asked me, he goes, how do you want me to introduce you? And mind you, I was only supposed to be on there one episode. But I said, introduce me as she plays GINA on A Different World. Like I was like, I want you to say my character name. And, you know, because I was like, fuck it. I mean, what you know, what are they going to do? Yeah. And so my Def Jam and my A Different World aired the same week.
Oh, wow. You was hot in the city, boy.
Yeah. And so that following Monday is when I just never stopped working.
Wow.
And so that was a blessing. And then A Different World kept calling me back. Then I became I became an under fiver. And then after that, I became reoccurring. So I did like 18 episodes that season. And then the following season I did, they made me a regular. Nice. So I was like the cousin that came home to visit and never left. You know, I really, you know, being young and desperate and, you know, just wanting to, you know, I just wanted to win and here's the thing, this whole time I'm like trying to prove my dad wrong, you know, because he was like, you're never going to make it out here on your own. And this city is too big. You had to go back to Texas with your mom. You know, he just really said some ugly shit to me, but it turned out to be the biggest blessing of my life. So, but the whole time I'm striving to prove him wrong, you know, and once I proved him wrong, I was like, okay, now what? Yeah. You know what I mean? Now then I had to figure out how to do it for myself.
Yeah, what's your why?
Yes.
Yeah, your why then was kind of,
It was revenge success.
Yeah.
Revenge.
I said it before, I will say it a million more times. Sometimes there is no more motivating factor than proving a motherfucker wrong.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
That's all the motivation you need.
But then once you do it, and then they don't give a fuck.
It ain't for them to give a fuck. It's for you to give a fuck. It actually has nothing to do with them. Yeah. It's about you.
I found that out later that it really had nothing to do with them. And you know, and I had to prove it to myself that I was worthy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
that's what you got to realize that about everything. Like revenge, people think I'm gonna get revenge on that person. No, the revenge is for you. I'm gonna do this thing to make me feel better about some fucked up shit that person did. It's never about that person.
But forgiveness is also very powerful too, because he and I have well, I'm telling you.
Fuck Will Smith.
No. I'm just speaking about I'm over here with mine. You know, you have a right to hold on to yours.
I thought that was a segue. I just trying to cut you off before you got
there. No.
I ain't never said that about Tisha. I just be saying,
issue with T? Y'all got issues with Tisha?
Nah, they don't.
Nah.
Trey does. Well, no, Tisha got issues with me.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Right. Cool ass Trey Elliott.
Please share.
Yeah, it was just visceral
What
reactions.
happened?
I mean, you know, I'm not one to really put the shit
Well-
out there. Let's just say, when the divorce happened, I got put in the
Line of fire.
in the line of fire because I'm very cool with Dwayne as well, and Tisha was like big sis to me, and me and Dwayne is like big brother to me.
Oh, so you had to pick sides.
I felt like I shouldn't have had to pick anything.
Oh,
But I was put in a line of fire, like, you know, like I was hurt. You know what I mean? Because me and Tisha had really developed a cool relationship. But Dwayne is the one that's like, yo, we going here. Come on, we gonna do this. We hanging out. Tisha was just, you know, we worked together when she would do Zen Lounge. I was the host of Zen Lounge.
Okay.
So every Friday is all love. Or when I would go to the house, you know, it's, hey, little bro. And we would talk about the business and she would always give me great words of encouragement. Yo, you gonna make it out here.
Yeah.
Just keep doing this. You talented. Find your own voice though. You think you Martin. Find your own voice, Trey. Like we would have really dope conversations, man. And I'm a very loyal dude. So when shit like that happened, I take that to heart. So, but she wasn't the one calling me or texting me to come to the crib, or she was the one saying, hey, we gonna be hanging out. Of course, you know what I mean? But when I see her, big sis, all love. So when the divorce happened, I ran into her at Tashina crib. I'm excited to see her. Yo, T, what up? Give her a hug. She ain't hugging me back. Energy is off. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Fast forward, go to New Orleans for I went the day after Essence Festival.
Okay.
We happened to be at the same hotel. I see her, Tashina, her brother Stanley. Once again, oh shit, you know, oh T, what up? We at the same hotel, rooftop. You know what I mean? Thinking, oh Trey, what you doing here? Whatever.
Right.
Yo, like real dry. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck is going on with Tisha? So then later on that night, me and her brother hanging out. Then we have a long conversation. You know what I mean? Me and Tisha. I'm thinking everything cool. At the divorce, whatever, fast forward, my sister had just passed away. July 24th would be 2 years. I had just buried her.
Oh.
Like, so I buried her. I see Tisha at a spot, and her energy was, and I'm talking to Tashina, and she said some words that didn't sit well with me. And I was like, yo, I don't got time for no bullshit right now. I just buried my sister. I don't got time for none of that shit. I told you, whatever happened between you and, you know what I mean, Dwayne, that's between y'all. Like, I'm not involved in it.
Yeah.
She didn't have any empathy or anything for me at that particular moment. So I was like, so that's where we at? Bet. You from Jersey, I'm from Jersey. And you know how Jersey motherfuckers get down. That's where you at. Fuck it. Well, that's where I'm at. And, you know, to this day, we haven't had a conversation or anything about it. But we grown. Like, I'm not about to sit here and choose no sides. Like why? Like, you not somebody I have to talk to every day. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you're not somebody that I'm dealing with on a regular enough for you to be like, you got beef for whatever reason. You know what I mean? And I say, yo, we could talk about it. Let's talk about it. I
can only share from my perspective, right? From my experience. And I've been divorced before. And I don't fuck with none of his friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't want no reminders of what of him whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm not mad or resentful at him, but I don't want to fuck with none of the shit that he used to fuck with.
Yeah.
And I think there may be something to that regard that may.
But you know what's funny though?
Affect her a little bit.
And it's for the Hollywood.
Because I'm a Libra too, and she's a Libra, and so once you prove your disloyalty to me, it's a wrap. There's no going back.
But this is where the Hollywood bullshit comes in.
Okay.
And this is why it's hard to sometimes play the Hollywood game. It's other celebrities that she ain't gonna do that to that still fuck with. You know what I mean? Like, you picking and choosing who you think you can fuck with based off of their status or what they got going or whatever the case may be. Because you ain't gonna treat so-and-so like that. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna treat this person like that. But you going, you know what I mean?
So yeah, I mean, I agree. I understand. I understand. And we haven't hung out like we used to for a very long time. And And I always specifically express my gratitude for her friendship from back then.
Yeah.
But you know, I haven't really seen or hung out, or I don't really have any celebrity friends. You know,
I say the same thing also.
I don't believe in hanging out with celebrities. I tried that, and that doesn't work well for me.
Right.
But again, see you, we cool,
love,
you know, and you know, and it's all good. But I don't really know who this version is.
Right.
So I don't really know. I really can't speak to it. But I do know that as a woman, and if I've been treated the way she was treated, and I think there may be some type of I'm gonna say desperation. There's some type of she's striving to get back what she lost.
But just make it clear, it's still not F Tisha. I'm not saying
no,
F
I
Tisha.
feel you.
Yeah.
I didn't hear
still
that.
not that,
Yeah.
because like I said, I was really hurt by the shit. You know what I mean? I was just like, God dang, I thought we was.
Like misunderstanding.
I don't really know for sure. I just heard that Dwayne did her dirty.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's a lot to come back from that, you know, from what I heard. I try my best to stay the fuck out of everybody's business.
And look, and that's what I was trying to do the whole time. I was just like, hey man, look, I don't got time to be having no beef or no bridge with nobody.
Him, so she probably like, I don't want no piece of him. You know, I don't know. I can't really speak for anybody else, but I just know that, you know, when I got divorced, I divorced all his motherfucking friends. I divorced his whole...
Even the ones that was cool
I
with you?
could care less, you know, because...
Talk about it. What happened? Why?
How long were you married?
So we were together for almost 10 years, and we were married 5.
Actor, celebrity?
No,
Okay.
Just a regular, huh?
I hate when people say regular degular because
I've never said it.
What'd you call it?
A regular
degular dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, he was just, you know,
Black dude,
had a black dude, 9 to 5. Why does everybody ask me that?
Because we know how it is.
You look white friendly.
I look like I would date a white dude.
You look white friendly, yeah.
Really?
And you live near San Diego. You look a little white friendly.
What? No, I like them blackety black.
Yeah, I know you do.
I like my women like I like my coffee. Puerto Rican.
Black as that camera right
there. Yeah, I like them. So, yeah, and nothing really. I mean, the only thing that happened was that he just kept forgetting that he was married.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
You know,
so
what I mean?
You feel as though maybe his friends.
No, he had a whole nother life with another woman.
Oh,
a whole nother
out
life.
of town, cross town.
Nah, she was out here. We was living in OC, and he, you know, and all the times that I thought he was at work, he was working, but he wasn't at work. You know, so and I found that out through social media. Yeah, it was literally like a Lifetime movie. It was crazy.
Wait, whoa. You found out through social media?
I found out through social media because my then brother-in-law, I take that back. I'm still friends with my former brother-in-law and his son. And, you know.
Yeah, the son ain't do shit.
Yeah, he didn't do shit. And he still calls me auntie. Oh, wow. Shout out to Young Viz. I love you.
Yeah.
Young Viz, his little rap career.
He's a writer producer. Like he's making some strides.
He's grown now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's grown now.
But he was in high school back at that time. And, you know, but I found out through social media, and my former brother-in-law he said, are you on Facebook? I was like, yeah. He was like, you need to go to his page. And I was like, why? And so when I saw his page, I saw him and her.
It was straight reckless.
They were in a engagement photo wearing the same suit that I fucking bought him for Christmas.
Oh, damn.
Wait, they were engaged?
He had proposed to her and was trying to figure out how to leave me. But I had already decided that we should break up because I was like, something is off and it's not working. I couldn't figure out what it was. And he was really good at deceiving. And so we had separate. So after we separated is when I heard the news. And I saw the pictures and I was like, well, now I know something was off or whatever. So, yeah.
What a chump.
Wait, he said it jokingly, but that's your movie right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's your movie.
Yeah.
So do you think his friends participated in helping him hide it, which is
Absolutely.
why you're not messing with them? So because
no, they're just no. I'm gonna say it like I mean it, and I don't mean to come off arrogant or whatever. But he was just never on my level in the first place.
Okay,
you know what I mean? We were just never on the same level, and I don't. When you're trying to be an eagle, you don't fuck around with pigeons, and that was on me.
Yeah, we get that.
That was on me.
We
know
all
what I
agree
mean?
with that.
It's the same. Like you can't make a fuck boy into a husband. I mean, that's really where I'm at. But I got a lot of great material out of it, and it's making me tons of money. So thank you, motherfucker.
There you go.
I can relate.
Well, like lemonade, you make lemonade.
Absolutely,
right,
absolutely.
Right,
and I remember one day I was crying real hard. I was like, one day this is gonna be real funny. I just got to get through this part right here, And
Did y'all have kids?
No, thank God.
I had some of the best material from when I got cheated on. Like some of my
the millionaires bit.
When my man, I said a millionaire chick acted like a millionaire nigga. Like they go do what the fuck they want to do.
Yeah, period.
But so I never look at it as it was a loss. I was like, yo, I got some of the best material.
And I also take accountability to I always just focus on my part. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just ignored a lot of red flags. I painted them all green. Like, oh no, he gonna be all right.
Hey,
he gonna be a good woman in his life.
Hey, those flags ain't red. Those Six Flags.
Six Flags.
And you know what? And people always ask me if I want to get married again, and I always go, I don't know, because I don't trust my own judgment anymore. In terms, I don't trust. Like, it could be 100 good men in a room, and I pick that one motherfucker. It'd be 99, could be perfect, and I'll pick that one no good, ain't shit.
Why do you think that is? What is it about the no good dude that
I don't?
Is it the relationship with your pops? Maybe that has something to do with it.
I'm working. I guess I'll put it to you this way. That's the way it was. That's who I used to be attracted to. Now I feel like my taste has matured. Okay. I will say that the sex is always better with the broke nigga. I don't know why.
Because he's fucking
because he's motivated. Survival.
He's fucking for survival.
He's looking for a place to stay. He's auditioning. Yeah. No, but I think I'm growing into a more mature frame of mind. When it comes to that.
Think about intimacy.
I do.
In addition to sex, because
I do.
Or the broke nigga that ain't broke no more. You gotta ask him, you used to be broke.
That's just part of my bit. But I really love grown men now. You know what I mean? But
you don't do young niggas.
I'll take young is good.
She changed that quick. I'm gonna grown nigga.
I'll take a young nigga. Young is grown.
Young is grown. I mean, if he's in his 40s,
I'm sure young.
Yeah, I mean, I've met some really mature 40, 45-year-olds. Yeah, especially, all this traveling I'm doing, the Caribbean men love American women.
They on them cruise ships.
Like you in your 30s.
Thank you.
So you're attracting all kind of ages.
I do. And the stamina. I appreciate the stamina. Yeah. And here's the thing about this younger generation, I will say, they are into exclusivity. Like, they are into relationship. They're very relationship oriented. The younger men that I've met, they're very relationship oriented. That, at least that's the impression that I've gotten.
Where your vision might be starting to get a little off. You gotta.
I mean, that's how I've been approached. They want me. I want you to be, my woman, and I'm like, oh, hold up, wait a minute.
And this is what
this is just supposed to be on the cruise.
That's not what you're looking for.
It has to be something that I really want. I'm not looking for it, but I'm not avoiding it either.
When you say something that you really want, are you talking about from that person? It has to be.
I have to want that too. Like, I don't want it. I'm not going to just. Here's the thing. I think I'm very afraid of pouring myself into somebody else anymore, because that's what I did in my relationship. Like, I was a really good wife. I did all the wife.
When's your birthday?
October 1st. So I did I was in it.
My sister's was the 4th, and I know the kind of wife she was.
Oh, yeah.
So I know the kind of woman. I know the kind of wife. Yeah, I can imagine, because
I was
what you're describing was her. Yeah.
Like, he didn't have to want for anything. It was, house clean, food ready. Like, I was all about laundry day. I was into it. I was really into it, and and I feel like I gave my all in that. And I think now I'm just kind of, and I think, again, I trusted too much, and I didn't question anything. And, I felt like he was living an honest life because I was living an honest life. I wasn't really, I don't smell underwear and check
I don't
phones.
smell underwear. Yeah.
Because I feel like if you got to do that, then we shouldn't be together.
Yeah.
So that's those signs were there, but I didn't really pay attention to it, and so next time I'll know.
How long ago was that? I say that all the time. I'm the easiest person in the world to cheat on because I'm not checking your phone.
Too.
I'm not looking in your bag. I'm not.
No.
I'm the easiest person to cheat on.
If you're not trustworthy and forthcoming and honest and honorable,
here, it's gonna be the worst mistake you ever made in your life.
Period. Done. Oh yeah, for sure.
You just can't be afraid. That's the hard part about love.
So I think I'm still kind of guarded.
Yeah, you gotta let it down.
I'm willing, but I'm still kind of guarded. I'll put it to you that way.
Do you prefer if you were in a perfect scenario, I think I may want to settle down or get married again, would it be with somebody older, like the older guy, or would you want somebody younger?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. The older guy would have to really make sure he's still healthy. Like, he's still got to be healthy.
No, what you mean?
You energetic. You energetic. You got energy. You energize a buddy, huh?
He got to have.
I'm still,
a mature dude with young nigga stamina. That's pretty much what you, okay.
Somebody that can match that.
Because you like to travel and you have an active lifestyle.
Right. And the sex life has to be active as well.
Okay, yeah.
Well, we ain't got to do it all the day and hang from the chandeliers. We ain't doing that because I'm not that flexible anymore. But I'm just saying.
My knees.
I'm not, I'm not doing no acrobats anymore, turning flips. But basically, all seriousness, I want to have an active, a good, energetic relationship with somebody older. And so when I date the older men, that seems to be a little bit of the issue.
Like they don't take care of themselves, like health wise.
You don't know what she's saying.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about how old are these niggas? How old are they?
They're in my age group. It's actually.
When you say age group, I'm
like
thinking
between 50 and 60.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, they're right there, and it's like, come on, y'all need to get y'all some black maca.
Yeah. You ever wonder why God did that?
And one time I was like, one dude, I was like, let me juice for you.
Hilarious.
Let me put some juice. Let's give me some juice.
Ain't that something?
And I'm sprinkling in some black maca. And I'm
Ain't
trying
that
to.
You gotta make him a strong back. You gotta make him what we call a strong back.
Take this home with you and drink this for a week.
And get back to me.
I wonder why God did that.
Drink
though. Why
6 of these and call me next week.
A higher sex drive at a later age of life.
I don't know, but it's quite unfair.
Gave the man a higher sex drive, like younger, like it's kind of like
it's unfair.
It's like
it's imbalanced, and that's why
balance it out.
So so I'm open and willing, but take care of yourself, brothers.
You've aged well, I would say.
Thank you.
You've aged well. Yeah,
I would say.
No, I'm just saying, like
you could play a Nicki Minaj and a Shaka Khan.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it. Thank you.
You can go both.
Okay.
You can go both, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you said Nicki Minaj and that was but that was like two different generations.
That's why I said it.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fox.
No, I agree. I just never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
Not them two.
And that's why, I'm not turning down the young fellas, but I'd like somebody with some maturity too. But hey, look.
Are you,
we can't sit and talk all night. I'm just saying.
I'm done listening to you.
He said,
pull it out. Are you?
Let's give it a whirl. I'm sorry.
Are you on tour right now? When's the next show? When's the next cruise?
I'm leaving for the Bahamas on Friday, so I'm going back on
from LA.
Mm-hmm.
The boat leaves from LA.
This ship that I'm getting on, it leaves from Florida.
Okay,
so
Miami.
I'm gonna be sailing out. Ride. And then I'm doing 5 days to the Bahamas, and I'm going to stay in the Bahamas for a little while, and I'll be join another ship in the Bahamas, and we'll sail somewhere else.
Nice.
Now the cruise ships.
I love the Caribbean. Yeah, August is going to be pretty crazy.
That's good.
So I'm really grateful for that.
Do you love it now? You said you love it. Hate
I love
it,
comedy.
Right now. Are you back in love with it?
Yeah,
okay.
I am.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now, are you doing the different cruise ships like Carnival, the different
cruise lines?
Cruise lines. Yeah.
No, just Carnival for now.
Just Carnival. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's enough because I'm booked all the way through the end of the year.
Come on,
and so we'll see. And we'll see what happens next year. But right now it's good. I like it.
Do you feel like it takes you away from the industry? Like,
I don't really. I'm not really.
You good?
Yeah.
I'm not really looking for anything.
Okay,
so
just like,
I'm grateful though that it's made me a better comedian.
Okay.
And So when I do shows on land, I feel more comfortable and I feel enthusiastic because I know that I've been doing my reps. You know what I mean? And so so when I go
Get your shots up.
So all I really want to do is just, I want to walk away feeling satisfied about the job, my performance quality. You know what I mean? And so I'm not looking for anything else. So but I'm not saying I don't want to be, I don't want to work. Like if something comes up, that would be great. But I'm not obsessing over it anymore like I used to when I was younger. I used to always like, oh, who's doing that? And oh, let me go meet this producer and let me, you know, and I would just be so obsessed with, you know, getting the next job or the next sitcom, or if there's something for me in that script. And I'm not there anymore.
I had to have that conversation with myself recently because I saw a few things like that came out, and I'm like, how the hell did I not get an audition for that? Like, I'm looking at a black person around my age that looks like, how did I not get an audition for that? How did I not read for that? But I'm like, you know what? You can't look at.
Listen, when it comes, I'm telling you, in my 20s, that's the every day, all day, calling my agent, asking for feedback, you know, after an audition, just, you know, and I when I walked away, I said, I don't want to live my life like that no more. You know, whatever's for me, I want it to be.
When you get to that point, it's so liberating.
It really is. It really is. Cause I'm not like, the other night at the show, you know, I watched a lot of other comedians, you know, backstage, and I could smell the desperation. Yeah.
Really?
You know, and you know, just the way they were like approaching certain people that were back there and stuff. And I was just like,
you guys did a show this week.
I did the show with Chris Spencer.
The comedy block party.
Yeah.
And I went because I haven't seen her in so long.
Yeah. So he was there and stuff, and it was nice to see a lot of people, but it was nice to just feel relaxed. And
that was a great set. Like, you know, I wasn't in the audience, but you could hear the response of the crowd. They really appreciated your performance.
They were great. That was probably the best LA audience I'd ever worked in front of.
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah, they gave it up.
I mean, they
gave it up.
Yeah, that's a good show. Hot crowd. Elliot brothers put together a good show.
Yeah, they did. It was a lot of fun, and so I just so it's. When I work in town, I just really want to feel good about it rather than just having expectations attached to it. And I think that's the difference now.
I'm glad you talk positive about the cruises, because a lot of times it's like a myth in some of the comedy world that the cruise is where the cruise ships is where comics go to die. And I'm like, that's so not true.
No.
I'm like you in there, you getting reps, you making money. You know what I mean?
And what I love the most about it is that when I'm talking to an audience of 300 or 3,000, however many, whatever the capacity is, you know, I love to ask where everybody is from. And most people, they get to a place where they shout out all their, you know, where they're from. You're getting the whole world in one room.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
And you know, somebody could be from Alabama, somebody could be from Europe, somebody could be. So it's you know, we go from city to city, but it's like, well, I got the whole country here in front of me.
Yeah.
That helps you to some degree, because it seemed like your performance was effortless. I mean, but as far as this cruise ships, and you got everybody from different demographics, the geographic areas, did you find that there is a difference between that audience and then when you come back home locally? I mean,
yeah.
Did it feel different? Like I'm performing, I'm more comfortable at home versus
no, it didn't.
I don't feel it doesn't matter. No,
it's difference. An audience is an audience as long as they respond. That's all I really care about. You know what I mean? But I think what makes it easier to perform, period, now is being on the cruise ships and being forced to have to relate to so many different people from so many different backgrounds.
Yeah, I think that
you know,
helps.
because there was a time, like sometimes I walk into the club and I'm like, ooh, are they gonna understand this Beyonce joke? Like, are they gonna really get it? You know, but they do. And and so it doesn't matter like what color they are. It doesn't matter what age. And most times it's like people of retirement age.
Who did you say earlier? You said Martin said this is the best job in the world. Who did you say that? You said Martin said this is the best job in the world. Robin Harris said this is the best job in the world. Earlier you said
best job in the world.
You said earlier you said it was either Robin Harris or Martin that said this is the greatest.
No,
job.
Eddie said this is the purest form of entertainment.
Purest form of entertainment.
yeah.
Right. Okay. So another thing that goes along with that is that this is the last space that it doesn't matter your color, your race, your creed, your sexual orientation. None of that shit matters when you in the audience. All that matters is the person on the stage. Are they funny?
Yep.
It's the last place.
Yep. Yeah.
Everywhere else is based on these different dynamics.
You're right.
Comedy club, broke people sitting next to rich people, white people sitting next to poor.
Yeah.
All that matters, everybody's there for one thing. Is that person funny?
It's the great neutralizer, isn't it? Well, and also it's also forced me to learn how to relate to somebody that may be from Alabama or Mississippi. And I don't know what your life looks like, but I got to figure it out in the next 30 minutes.
When I started, I did a lot of the southern, the circuit, the down south circuit, and most of my stuff was so New York specific. Like literally, like, you ever be on the train, man? And that homeless dude get on the train, you'd be like, and we was in somewhere in Alabama, like not Birmingham, like. Not a major city, like Demopolis, Alabama. And I said, like, you be on the train, and the dude come through the train, like, ladies and gentlemen, you got any? And some lady super country. I just don't think he's funny.
Ooh, wow.
And I had to fucking take that shit to the chest and keep going. And the next night I came back and was like, okay, we got to change this whole setup.
Yeah.
And by like Saturday late show, I had the motherfuckers like, okay. You gotta take all that stuff out. They don't get it.
I learned that lesson. You go to a city, you make a local reference, like I think it was down in Miami or something. Like they didn't have Carl's Jr., but I said Carl's Jr. So we ain't got no goddamn Carl's Jr. I'm like,
what you got, Hardee's?
It was something like that.
South,
but, like I didn't know how to
Bojangles.
switch. I didn't know how to make.
Well,
that
that was Sinbad gave me that advice too. When I started going on the road, he was like, make sure you go to the mall. Or you find a social spot and you find out what's going on in their city, and so you can have something to relate to them too. You know what I mean? And so I would like sift through my. For instance, I go to Chicago a lot. Like back in the day when all jokes aside. So
shout out to Mary.
Shout out to Mary.
Shout out to Mary. And so I would just. Ask questions, like what kind of, what kind of chicken do y'all eat? And what's the name of this? And what's the name of that? And what's this saying? Are you going to, because that's, he taught me to do that, because he was like, they don't know anything about,
good cheat code.
They don't know nothing about Crenshaw Boulevard and what's going on here. So you got to figure out to relate. And so that's the same idea that I take on the ships, make sure that I can speak universally to them. And then if it is something that is specifically my own, then I will. Then that's my opportunity to share my share a story enough for them to get. But so it's taught me a whole lot. It's expanded my horizons a lot. It's really broadened my scope quite
Before
a bit.
we let you go, I have to ask. We asked this question to another comic on the show and got a lot of feedback on the comments. And please put your comments in, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Top 5 comedy specials.
Top 5 comedy specials?
Top 5 comedy specials.
Okay.
That you'll sit down and watch.
Bring the Pain. It doesn't have to be in an order?
No.
Okay. Bring the Pain is one. Because I was on that tour and I saw it all happen from the ground up. Comedy specials. Delirious. Richard Pryor live on Sunset Strip. How many is that? 3?
That's 3.
Oh God, the pressure.
Listen, 2. 1 is
no pressure. No pressure.
I don't know the title of the special, but George Carlin, the George Carlin one, where he talks about the
and it's bad for you.
What is it?
And it's bad for you?
No, the one where he
brain damage.
I think it was brain damage.
Okay.
And I can't think. This is okay. Wait. Okay, let me think. So I love the albums too, the comedy albums.
Yeah, that's a special.
Oh, okay. Well, not live on Sunset Strip, and then that nigga's crazy.
That nigga's crazy. Okay. So take that out, but that's 4
okay.
Still.
And then Red Fox, I don't know the title of it.
You gotta wash your ass.
Yeah.
Maybe that one's it. And Raw.
Okay, that's 6.
That's 6?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, You So Crazy. Because you said Martin was your, you know.
But see, okay.
I just asked. You don't got
It's your list. It's your list.
It's
That's
your
your list.
list.
That's your list.
Yeah.
I mean, Martin would be it. Okay, Martin, but I love Red Fox too. But I'll take Red Fox out and put Martin in there.
You don't got to.
No, I would. I forgot about that one because that was great. But
This is why we asked the question.
I love so
everybody. Nobody's giving a 5 across the board. Everybody, shit. What about it?
Because and for me, it's different aspects. Like Tommy Davidson's first special was dope to me, and it was just so
Damon
brilliant.
Wayne's special was
see.
dope.
But see, and I watched all those guys. Like I remember when he used to do Anton, like at the Comedy Act Theater, and he would just mesmerize me. Like, the brilliance of Damon Wayans is just unmatched.
He's one of the ones that people know, but people just don't discuss when it comes to the top 5s and in certain realms. Like people don't talk about him as much as I feel.
And I think it's an unfair question because there are so many.
How's it an unfair question? It's your list.
Well, no, because there are so many greats,
right?
That didn't get a special,
right?
Like Bernie Mac
didn't get a special,
right?
Yeah.
Like Bernie Mac. It's just one of the greatest.
But that set from Def Jam and that set from Kings of Comedy will live forever.
True,
forever,
but he never got his own special though.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when you say top 5 specials, like, oh man, but he like fits 44. in that conversation.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure it would have been.
It would have been amazing. I'm sure it would have been.
Yeah.
That would have changed the game. That would have been like set a new standard.
Tell them where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can see you.
Yeah, y'all don't need to follow me nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't doing nothing.
Unless you're a young, educated young man with
stamina.
Unless you're a young Jamaican.
Take horny
no, I'm just kidding. No, you find me on Instagram. Ajai Sanders, stand-up girl. But again, I'm on a ship near you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm all over the place. And that's the
what's
blessing of being able to do the cruises, is be able to travel all over the place and really, really get a chance to see how similar everybody is. And that's what I like to say mostly, is that everybody in the world are the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
We're the same. Get you a passport, get your ass out of your living room, turn the news off, and go see the world, because there's so much to see, so many people. You'll find more similarities than you do differences, no matter what your skin color looks like. It's out there, and the blessing is there waiting for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ajai Sanders in the green room.
I did it.
You did it. You survived.
Let him know.
I did it.
Joe Feezy on Instagram and everything else. I'm doing a show here the 27th in the big room with Sharon Array and Esau McGraw. And the following week, we are in Philadelphia. I haven't been to Philadelphia, the Helium Comedy Club. I haven't been there in years, so I'm looking forward to that.
Wow.
We supposed to do this in the beginning. I forgot.
I know, yeah, we will. We got to talking immediately.
Tacoma, Washington, August 15th, August 18th through the 19th. That's it.
What's today?
Today's the 22nd.
Austin, Texas, this weekend, Comedy Mothership. Omaha, Nebraska, Thursday, one-nighter at the Orpheum Theater. Philadelphia that weekend, and St. Louis the weekend after that, and then more tour dates, but I just can't remember them. So follow me. I'll post everything. I'll let y'all know what it is. This is the Green Room. Good to be back. Shout out to Captain Kirk's Jamaican Rum Punch. Charleston, Dad, I love you so much. Peace.
Aww.
They ask how I'm doing, guess I'm back up even though I never left, I just say I'm alright. I know that you thought it was great, but you're wrong, that song wasn't even alright. Talk nice when you see me alright. See me on a big screen, but don't know the long nights. Strapping to their knees when they see me like they saw Christ living in their head rent free like dog lights. On a different plane of rap now. Since both Kanye and Drake done crashed out, I guess I'm taking a space of that now. Down a couple glasses, the shades are blacked out. I'm still a fan of them both. Yeah, I'm coming for they spots, but I'm standing with ghosts. Any man get a smoke, I'ma be popping they tops like the can of a Coke. If these rappers wanna hang, I just hand them a rope. Coast to coast, I go like I'm on a vacation. Show to show, I know that these hoes are debating. The reason I'm easily going with the flow and the cadence, I speak what I think and I know what I wrote is amazing. K-Dot makes our collab, we need that fast. Ain't lot to learn, this cat can teach a class. It's easy peasy, he make it seem like magic. Pick a beat, any beat, send to me, I'll spaz. I'll spaz.